That'll do. We're back. We are back. Let me move this a little bit. Something like that. Yeah. We're back. We're doing some farming. We are so broke. It's unbelievable. We have 150 gold. We don't even have 150 gold across our characters. This is insane. We had 100 times more gold 2 weeks ago. But boosting a second rogue, buying goggles for NG, blah blah blah. It goes quick. So we're going back into the vaults. I yearn for the vaults. So we're going back in. We're gonna make some money. Quick recap on the week that was. We went into while I'm flying. Let me see. Let's set our flight and then I'll go through it with you. That'll do. 2020 is good. Fine. We have no bandages, but that's alright. We'll be alright. Yeah, the week that was, we went into SSCTK last night. And we had a solid run. Cleared both down Vash first try. I don't think we had any wipes. No, we had a fair few wipes on Morrogrim. I think we had 3 or 4 until we found our feet with it. But it was very smooth other than that, and pretty good kill times, which was nice. We got lucky. So we SR'd Talon of Ashara main hand and the Belt of 100 Deaths, but neither of them dropped, unfortunately. And when we went into TK, we had Warp Spring Coil and the Arcanite Steam Pistol. Neither of those dropped either. But on the last boss, when we killed Kael'thas, he dropped the Band of the Ranger General. And one of the guildies had SR'd it, but changed their SR at the very last minute. So it dropped and we won it. Thank God. So we got that this week, and last week we got the Van Braces. So we got a piece of raid gear each week, so we're happy with that. You know, that compared to phase one was brutal. I had Blink Strike, I had all the pre-raid base, everything lined up, came out the gate swinging with DPS, feeling very strong. I got the tier 4 legs and like the first week, I think, first or second week, and I got 1 or 2 other items, not major ones, and I thought this is going to be great. You know, I'm going to be fully bis, you know, in a few weeks. I got nothing for about a month, not a single drop, and so I got a cape then, and then I got a pair of gloves, and just toward the end of the phase, excuse me, just toward the end of the phase, I started getting more and more things until the last week, the final week before phase 2, I was only 2 items off full bis. I was missing Skulkers, Greaves, and DST. That was it. I got 4 bis items in a 16-hour period, 2 from raid and 2 from heroics in that last week. So it all came back again. So to get Van Braces and the ring week after week, I'm very happy with that. I'm super happy with that. So that was sweet. We also managed to improve our parses. We did manage to get a 99 on Hydros, which was really nice. Super happy with that. I don't think they've locked in yet, but we have pumpers in our raid. It's very well organized. A lot of good players, a lot of great players. So we have significantly improved our parses, which we're very happy about as well. We died on Alar last week. We had blue parses on 2 things and a grey parse on 1. So really happy to be able to kill all the bosses. I died on Alar again last night. I over aggroed just at the very start and got 1 shot. So, but we managed to kill it. I got a res pretty quickly and it was all good. Now let's switch into our farming spec. And let's go make some money. Now, I might just make this a little bit smaller before we start. Something like that should work. For you guys, yeah. Let's get the swag window open. Like so. How's that fitting? It's about right. Something like that. There we go. There we go. Now, let's make some money. Chest isn't locked. We love to see it. We've got everything ready. I think we're gonna do, because it's not locked, we're just gonna do the old first video method. So we will distract these guys to buy us some more time. And when you're doing this poll, when the chest isn't locked, it's actually better just to sap her. She's the leader, so she'll keep the other guy in his place. And we don't have to worry about them pulling. Not that it's a big deal if they do, but there's a weird chest bug, vanish bug, combat bug associated with this dungeon, which is very annoying to deal with. So if we can avoid that, we will. Now we do have some lag. Which isn't great, but we'll deal with it. Shadow protection, that's pretty good. Mother Shiraz. Nagi scroll, we love to see that. So even though gems and ores have dipped in price quite a lot, they've been going down since, I don't know, maybe a month after release. They kind of peaked around then, I think. They've been going down ever since. And yet, this farm is still producing around about the same gold per hour that it was around the peak, which is wonderful. And the reason why is because scrolls are going through the roof and mana potions are going up, and enchanting materials, large prismatic shards. Okay, we did pull there, but that's alright. Large prismatic shards are like up to nearly around 20 gold now on my server. So the blue items we're getting from chests now are worth 20 gold each, which is insane. And the scrolls are going up. I mean, scrolls of spirit are going up to like 250, 3 gold on some nights. And they were 70 silver before, so that's huge. So, you know, it's gone down one way and it's gone up the other. So this is still an incredible gold farm. Now, we don't have Vanish, we don't have Prep, but what we do have is our trusty Gnomish cloaking device, which we're going to use right now. I'm using an older mouse, a less clicky mouse, so it's not coming through as much on the stream. Although it's a little bit, my vanish button is a little bit further back than I would like. That's why I actually changed out of this mouse. But I will deal with that. The clicking is very annoying. So yeah, SSCTK was great last night. We got some loot. We did good numbers. Cinna, the hunter in our guild, had a god tier RNG run. I think he got 3 items. Really, really good items. So he was absolutely smashing it last night. So that's great. Our guild is gearing up. Really, really nice. And Zane Law, our mage, one of our mages, he was actually ranked first in the world on one of the bosses in the last phase. I can't remember which one. I think it was a Kara boss. But he had, for a week, he had rank 1 on that boss. So a very good player. And he got the Serpent Coil Braid, the mage trinket from Morrogrim, which is it's a somewhat rare drop. So really happy that he's got that. The great players are getting the great loot. We lost DST. We lost roll to DST. We rolled second highest out of 4 rollers. And first roller won it with 100. And he's a guy in my guild. And again, another great player. Teram Pondu. He's a warrior. And he is absolutely smashing the DPS meters on the regular. So we don't mind losing DST to that guy. And we lost last week Talon of Ashara, our single best item upgrade from phase 2, of course, not counting DST. It dropped. There were only 2 rogues SRing it. I was one of them, and the other was Freka, great rogue. He's in our guild, and he was exposing for me that first raid, and I'll expose for him in future raids. It dropped, he won it. So that was nice. He deserves it. A little bit gutted, obviously. It's the best. You want it, you know, if you can get the main hand weapon, week 1, first raid, you're just out the gate pumping. And yet, without it, still using Blink Strike, managed to get a 99 parse yesterday, so super happy with that. Alright, that'll do. Now, why is that so high? 360. We didn't get any gems. Probably the Agi scroll, right? Given that they're 750 now. These are set to disenchant value, by the way, for greens, not auction house. So it's more accurate. Let's see. Four motes, that's average. Can be 3, can be 5, that's fine. Addy. Let's get rid of that. Let's eat that on the move. Get rid of that. Green. Stay there, stay there. Close enough. Lol. I went in the wrong direction. I am rusty, boys. I am rusty. Alright, nice. I think that's it. We got our moat, we got our addy, we got our fell. Chest 2. Addy fell, chest 1. Yeah. We got 2 minutes. I think I'm gonna rush it. Get out as quick as I can. Because we've got 4 minutes on this water walking, right? Get out, reset, come in. And depending on which chest, we might be able to get another chest out of this water walking. So let's aim for that. I was doing a little bit of theory crafting, a little bit of simming earlier today and yesterday. And I had the opportunity to SR. Yeah, we got some serious lag here. Can feel it. Big time. We had the opportunity to SR the badge of the Swarm Guard back in Classic when we were running AQ about 10 months ago, 9 months ago. And we didn't SR it, which I'm super annoyed about now because, and I just made a video about this. It's like 2 minutes long or 3 minutes long or something. I put it up a couple hours ago. It beats DST. It's a classic level 60 trinket and it beats DST for DPS. As long as the fight is between 30 and 50 seconds long, it will do more damage than DST. And it's a level 60 item. It's absolutely insane. So most fights in Karazhan, apart from Prince and what's it called? Nightbane. Most of them, and Netherspite as well, somewhat. It's not locked, so we will lose that water walking. Most fights in Kara, our guild has them down to, you know, a minute, give or take 20 seconds. And some of them are down to, you know, that 50 to 30 second range. So that trinket is absolutely nuts for speed clearing or parsing. It's absolutely incredible for trash. You know, it does more damage than DST. Oh, another Angie 5. Beautiful. Beautiful. What have we got up here? Addy. We might get it. Probably won't though. Big grants on the ring last night. Thank you. Thank you, Mikey. I feel very lucky to have gotten that. Yeah, big time. It was a lot of fun. It was much cleaner than last week. We had pretty good times, pretty good numbers. So yeah, I woke up in great form thinking about the raid last night. Still over aggroed early on Alar though. After telling myself I wasn't going to die on Alar this week. And there I went. Really nice to see Zainlaw get the trinket. Really nice to see Cinna get 3 big items. We're going to be pumping even more next week. That's locked, but we got our prep, so that's great. Yeah, I checked your stream. Is your threat meter? Okay. You've got me. You got me. I haven't been using it. I used it a lot in Classic, and I used it once or twice in TBC. I switched over to it, but then I generally got a feel for what I could do, and I haven't really needed it. But instances like dying on a Lar there, like I never over aggro Gruul, for example. You know, I kind of just know by how I'm going, but I will start using it. I will start using it because the cat's out of the bag now. If you know, you know. Yeah, I gotta use it. And there's really no. Oh, we almost got it. There's really no downside to having it up there. So I will start using it 100%. There we go, 188 on Spirit at the moment. You know, it's really nice. Oh, we're in the water. I'm glad you mentioned that, actually, now that I think about it. Because you kind of get stuck in a groove of just the way you play the game. And having threat meter up is going to make me a better rogue. I pulled. Oh, I felt so bad about that. That was such a retarded move. I don't know what I was checking. I think I was looking at. Maybe I was looking at loot. My SRs. And running behind everybody. And I wasn't hugging the wall. And I pulled Morrogrim. And I'm so grateful that it didn't chain to the rest of the raid. I got clapped, obviously. Oh, we got a gem. Star of Balloon. Not a great gem, but it's a gem from a pocket. We always like that. Oh my god. Alright, we can manage this. There we go. Also, did you notice that we got worse parses because we went at midnight day one? I was looking at that, and my conclusion about that, we were parsing against all the high-end guilds, exactly. If we'd gone one day later, all our parses would have been 5 to 10 points higher. That was my conclusion as well. We were going against the super sweats. Yeah, which makes sense, right? But that's okay. I mean, we're not a parsing guild, right? We're a progression guild. And the midnight launch is a very exciting thing, you know. So it was so much fun to be a part of that. So you got DST and you've got Dragon Maw now as well, haven't you? That's nuts. That is so nice. Zainlo did the same thing. I know I knew somebody else did it as well. And I was like so grateful somebody else had fucked up. So I wasn't the only clown in the classroom with the dunce cap on at the back of in the corner. But I didn't know who it was. Zainlo, world ranked #1 mage on one of the Kara bosses, runs straight into Margrim like myself. Ah, that's good. That's good. I'm not alone. How you doing today? In Flames, I'm doing well. Also, are you going to raid with your second rogue? I've been wondering whether I'll do that. I did buy him a load of stuff. I bought him pre-base stuff, you know. He's got 2 night blades. I decided I'd go combat daggers with him because I couldn't afford a blink strike at the time. Still can't. So I bought him 2 night blades for like, I don't know, a couple of hundred gold. Nothing. Less, maybe 100 or 150 gold for 2, which is just insane because Nightblade is actually a solid weapon. I got him the fell boots, fell gloves, fell trousers. You know, if he went into Kara like tonight, he's not going to be parsing, but he'll be doing, you know, he'll be doing enough damage to do Kara. But I haven't actually put him up for review, or, you know, I'd still need a few more enchants anyway. But the thing, do I want to do that, you know? So there's a couple of reasons why I don't. Number one, this is the biggest one really. I don't want DST or something like that to drop when I'm raiding with my second rogue. Now you might say, oh, but then you could just make your second rogue your main. But I have full Bloodfang on McBacon, and he's been with me since Classic. I'm kind of attached to him. I want him to be the main. So one of the things about having alts that I really don't like is what you want or need for your main drops when you're not on your main. And that's a very frustrating thing to deal with. That's one reason. Second reason is time. You know, if I went raiding on a second rogue, I would probably not be able to do other things with the time. Video editing or creating certain videos, or maybe getting into PvP and going from 0 to hero in arena, which is a plan that I have. So those are a couple of reasons against. Reasons for, you get to raid more, obviously. I'd get to try out different builds that I couldn't try on my main rogue, which would be a lot of fun. And I would get twice as much practice in with rogue in terms of melee mechanics and boss fights, and become a better rogue on my main as well. So for now, I think I'm just going to leave him as a farming rogue, and we'll see down the line. I might join a Kara or 2 with him, you know. Oh, you got Netherbane as well, yes. DST, Dragon Strike, and Netherbane. Bro. Yeah, I'm excited for next week as well. I'm really enjoying the raid. Combat Dagger would be a great experiment because nobody is playing it, so you can try push it to the max on your second rogue. I don't think any content creator is doing that. Simonize is actually doing that this time around. So in the last TBC round, he was focused on just doing the most damage he could do. And this time around, because he's done all that already, now he's more focused on trying out different builds. So that's actually his USP for his channel at the moment. In terms of TBC content, is trying different builds. So if you check out his channel, you'll see Combat Daggers, you'll see Mutilate. So he's trying them all out. And if I was going to raid Combat Daggers, I would go and copy everything that he has done, point for point, strat for strat, and take it from there, because he's an excellent rogue. And he does an awful lot of work theory crafting, figuring stuff out. Wow, look at that. Lag. Crazy. But it'd be fun. I've played Combat Daggers before, which is very similar to classic Combat Daggers, to be honest. You don't get the energy gains from combat potency, but everything else is pretty much the same. And you don't have, Cloak of Shadows for certain mechanics. I'm gonna eat this. But everything else is pretty much the same. You're looking for the back, you're hitting backstab, you're waiting to get energy back, you're hitting backstab. Once you adrenaline rush, you get more backstabs. That's about it. It's a much slower playstyle to swords, and way slower again to shiv, as opposed to sinister striking. But it does decent damage. But it's not a huge amount of fun, to be honest. Oh, I'm going this way, right. Losing the run of myself. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll get that on the way out. Oh yeah, I know how it's like if all the shit you want on your main drops on your alt. Exactly. I don't want that to happen. That would piss me off so much. And I've heard Mikey, and I know I've been there in the past. The staff, the strangled staff or whatever it's called from Kara, he was looking for it on his druid, and it would always drop when he was on his warrior. It's very annoying. Totally with you there. I saw so many Ilhu staffs on my warrior before. There you go. I didn't even read that, dude. I didn't even read that. That's just like the prime example in the top of my skull. Yeah. Tell me about it. I switched from combat daggers to swords immediately after rank 14 weapons became available. Can't be arsed to play daggers in TBC. Yeah. Now, I do enjoy playing daggers in Classic when I play Night Elf Rogue, because it's kind of like the rogues are bad in TBC meme, or general consensus, which is less true than people think it is. And everyone's like, oh, swords is bis, swords is the best. You know, it's phase by phase and loot by loot. So, you know, a lot of people would ask me why I wasn't playing human as a lance, as a rogue, because they're just the sword sword specialization, or sword skill rather. It's expertise now, but the weapon skill +5 to swords, and I think bases, I'm not sure. With humans, it's just so broken in Classic. It's absolutely nothing even comes close to it in terms of DPS. However, if you're playing Night Elf and you're playing swords, you're always gonna lose to a sword rogue of the same gear loadout and skill level. However, if you play Night Elf, you're always going to lose to a sword rogue for the same reasons. But if you play daggers, it kind of evens the playing field slightly. So if you go into Molten Core Phase 1 and you get Perdition's Blade, you're going to smoke any swords rogue. Like, you just cannot. They're gonna be using a sword rogue who gets their bis in Phase 1 Classic is going to be using Viscag, the sword from Onyxia, which is very, very rare. It's much more rare of a drop than Perdition's Blade. And if they're not using Viscag, they're going to be using Brutality Blade from Gar. And they're both very good weapons. But Perdition's Blade is, for its weapon type and the damage that it can do, just absolutely insane. It's nuts. It's like a Phase 2 weapon in Phase 1, basically. And because nobody wants to go daggers, the only other people who will take that are warriors because of rage and it's a faster weapon. It's very good for them as well. If they're tanks, but usually rogues will have prio on it, and nobody else wants to play dagger. So going dagger rogue in Classic is something I love to do at launch, because you get really good weapon straight off and you beat all the swords rogues. Then they will start to beat you again when they get Maladath and CTS. You can't really compete with them at that level. That's Phase 2. But then if you get the dagger from Cthulhu in AQ 40, you're going to be beating them again. And by the time you get to Nax, if you sim it out and you look at swords versus dagger rogues, they're doing pretty much the same DPS. So this idea that swords is better is not really true. It's not really as true as people think it is. Yeah, you really need Gressel to beat Death Sting, King's Fall, Rogue. Exactly. Exactly. You know? I'm not sure why that notion. Now, it may be true, right? Because this is my own personal experience. But then I'm playing my rogue at a certain skill level, and other people are playing at a certain skill level. So that comes into it as well. However, if people are basing the perception that swords rogues are better than dagger rogues based on Warcraft logs data, then it's probably true. But I feel like because the sample sizes are different, so many rogues go swords and very few rogues go daggers. And so there's a much smaller sample size for daggers. And of that sample size, how many of them have the base gear that they need to perform and compete with swords. Whereas most of the swords, not most, but there'll be enough in the swords guides. Let's get this chest. There'll be enough in the swords guides to get it, but I think there's probably a flaw in my logic there. But the gap is much, much closer than people think. If it wasn't for the rank 14 weapons, I probably would have played Dagger from start to finish. Yeah. Swords is just so much easier to play. You know? There's just two major differences. Number one, you don't have to look for back. You know, if the target is either switching targets at the start because the tank's trying to establish threat, or has some mechanic where it moves around, or if the tank is just like meth head movement and just running around and not stabilizing. If you can't find the back and you can't backstab and you overcap energy, it's very annoying. Very, very annoying. So it makes it more frustrating to play. And then the other difference is the speed. It's way less dynamic because you're waiting. You're waiting for your energy to come up. It's like takes twice as long. Well, not quite, but almost twice as long to be able to hit your ability. So you're just waiting a lot. It's more boring. But those big yellow numbers, that spike. That's annoying. Those big yellow numbers are a thing of beauty. It's kind of worth it for that. Well, it's a good job that this is our first hour, because this dungeon is definitely gonna fill the gap that we need in order to add the time we need to our lockouts so we don't hit that first hour lockout. That's a little annoying. We had waited a little bit longer, we would have been able to get this one and that one again. But whatever. Another agility scroll. Nice one. Good old trusty safe spots. Can't beat them. There it is. I'm gonna try a new strap. I just thought of something. So we can normally only get one crack of this chest. And if you're very lucky sometimes, but you can't really like nail it down, but you can sometimes get 2 cracks at this chest if you pull them up the tunnel, right? But what if we pull normally, wait till these guys, the patrolling, they gotta get to the top of the tunnel, and time it so that they're at the top of the tunnel when we get there. We step through them like we do when we're doing the long pull, then we tuck into the corner. And then we do our evasion, all that jazz. We don't have to worry about the net because they're not engineers up there. And neither are they. So we evasion, we wait up here, we have these guys on us, meleeing us, and we cloak. We wait for the other guys to come up, then we burst down with the boots. That way, we've bought ourselves like an extra, all that extra distance, and we'll be able to get 2 cracks at this chest. Okay, this might be a new meta, but we need 45 seconds. Next alt is a furry rogue. It's like Dagger rogue, but with the god mode energy regen toggled on. I know, just use frost grenades in tunnel for previous chest. It's way faster, in my opinion. Why not just use frost grenades in tunnel for the previous chest? You mean this chest here? I do, always when it's not locked. But when it's locked, it's safer to do the long pull. But I've been chatting and distracted, so I've just been playing sub-optimally, poorly, basically, making stupid mistakes. Playing Night Elf, Troll Rogue, Dagger Rogue, next classic sounds like the plan. Hopefully no rank 14 weapons next time. Well, I didn't mind the rank 14 weapons last time because everybody in my guild rushed to get rank 14 weapons. So they spent, what was it? It was like 10 weeks, I think, where you had to grind. And then the last weeks, you had to grind like 10 hours a day to get it. It was insane. But because everybody in the guild was doing that, nobody was reserving CTS and Maladath. So I just came in and got CTS and Maladath. And then I beat all the rank 14 rogues with CTS and Maladath. It was so good. It was so good. And I got Bloodfang in like, I don't know, something crazy like, I think 4 to 6 weeks, I got full Bloodfang. Because again, nobody was going for tier 2. So I was very lucky there. What's your opinion on elixirs versus the assault flask? I use the flask because it's slightly more DPS. If you don't have the money, then use the elixirs because they're still insane. It's not a big difference. I'll show you right now. This is my current loadout, my baseline. Let's just put it at like 60 seconds for quick and dirty numbers. 27:15. Switch over from Relentless Assault to Agi. You know, it's 10 DPS. 5 DPS even. It's not a big deal. And they're way, way cheaper. The other pro to that is that you can have a second elixir. And the one a lot of people use, speedrunners use, is the Sansa's 20% extra swim speed, 1 second. We are back. We're going to play some Settlers of Catan in about an hour and a bit. One of my favorite board games. Okay, let's try this new strat. So that's my thoughts on Elixir versus Flask. They're both really good. I'm a kind of min-maxy guy. If I can push something the extra bit, I will. Especially now that I can afford it because of this farm. So I use the flasks. But if you fail to open chests during 5 runs, you still make it 1 hour in total before dungeon CD. Yes, I'm usually always under an hour. The thing is, because this is my first hour, when I go into the dungeon, I'm gonna have to wait for these to come down anyway. When you go into the dungeon, the lockout timer doesn't start until you actually leave the dungeon. So if the first dungeon takes you 12 minutes, then that 12 minutes, you're going to have to wait that 12 minutes. So you finish your 5 dungeons, but you're actually at lockout. And you look at your timer and it shows you like, you know, whatever it is, 59 minutes or an hour and 1 minute. And you're like, okay, good. I can go back in now. It's like, no. That timer started when you entered the dungeon, the Kiwi Farm one, but your lockout timer doesn't start until you leave. So with this in particular, it doesn't matter so much. Let me just quickly do this. I'm gonna try this new strat. See if we get two attempts at it now. Doesn't look like it. Okay, great. Lovely. Well, we're definitely resetting now. and we can reset when we're dead, which is good. But if you fail to open chests during 5 rolls, you can... Yeah. You can have 1 failure, 1 death per run and still make it in 12 minutes, no problem. If you fail one of the lock chests, then you just move forward, get the mines and moats, get the second chest, and by the time you've done that and come back, or you're on your way out, you'll have... your vanish will be up again. You can do it again. Sometimes you'll get very unlucky and you'll get to, even if with perfect play, if you're not stupidly dying like I am here, you'll be able to, or sometimes you'll get very unlucky and it'll just fail to open for you a couple of times in a row. But that's why we do the long pull, because the long pull gives you at least 2 attempts, often 3 attempts, and sometimes even 4 attempts at the same chest, depending on how good your timing is. So for unlocked chests, I always do the NG strat, frost grenades, fire them down. But for locked chests, if it's the first chest, the one at the left, when I come down, I'll often just gamble it and try it even though it's locked, because it's a pain in the arse to do the long pull with that one. It's not a pain in the arse, but it's just, it feels less efficient. It takes a lot longer. It's kind of annoying. So I'll often just gamble and risk that one, because it's so fast to try it at the start. You don't really lose too much time if you fail. If that fails, fine. I jump out, go get the mines from the first area, go up to the second chest, and pop my prep, and then grab that chest, get the mines and the moats, and by the time I get round to the front again, my vanish is ready to go. So if it's unlocked, any chest that's unlocked, those ones in front of the tunnel, for example, I always NG pull them. But if they are locked, then I long pull them. Okay, eat something here quickly. You can use a second pair of boots with plus 12 agi instead of cat swiftness if you use Zanza elixir. And if you happen to die, you can switch cat swiftness boots. Not sure if it's better or not. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to min-max it. That's a level of min-max that I... the only time I would ever do that is if I had 2 pairs of Edgewalker's long boots. If I had 2 pairs of Edgewalkers, but then you're spending the money for the gems on your boots and the extra enchant. But hey, if you want to min-max it, that's solid. Okay, this is cool. Look what we have here. We have an unlocked chest, and both of the mines are in behind the Boglord. So we're going to do the Boglord pull. I'm going to pull him and these guys through the dungeon. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to open that chest. I'm going to mine that mine and mine that mine all at once. That's the plan. That is the plan. But in order to execute this insanely complex rogue shenanigan, I'm going to need to flood my bloodstream with nicotine. So you're going to have to bear with me. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hi, is this farm still giving 450 gold an hour? It depends on your server. It can sometimes give you 450 gold per hour. I've had certain hours that have given me that, but on average, no. The average, I'll show you here. I have screenshots from, oh, excuse me. That's very annoying. These are the screenshots of my last 4 runs. I'll show you how much it's worth. That was 1 hour, 335 gold. That's another hour, 405 gold. That's another hour, 371. And I think this was just a low hour. Yeah. So bottom end, if you don't get lucky, if you don't get gems, you're going to get 300 gold per hour out of this farm. If you get lucky, you're looking at 400. That's what the economy as it is now. However, scrolls are growing up, large prismatic shards are growing up, are going up, and gems have stayed quite low, so it doesn't look like they're gonna jump. Although they might, because maybe a lot of raids are struggling with the new content. So if they're struggling with it, they're not killing as many bosses, they're not getting as much loot, and they're not re-gemming and putting gems in their new loot. So that is a factor as well. But as you can see on my server anyway, it's given an average of 350 gold per hour, which is still the best solo gold farm. If there's a gold farm in the game that gives you, that you can do on your own, that gives you the same or more than this, I'd love to know what it is. I know you can do decent money in strat, but it's not the same. I'm gonna level a rogue for this farm. It's a good idea, brother. You will never have money problems. I do NG always, and don't use water walking because of the 4 gold price. Fair enough. If everything goes wrong, just alt tab and continue to work. How many gold for one run? About 350 gold on average. Sometimes you get a god run and you'll get 500 to 600 gold, but that's one. But the cool thing about this farm is you're never gonna, if you get 2 chests, 4 mines in every dungeon, but you don't get any gems, you just get normal loot, you're looking at 300 gold. You can never really fall below that. As long as you, once you figured out how to do the farm and you're getting 5 runs in 1 hour consistently, you can never really go below, 300. You might go to 290, something like that, maybe 280, but 300 gold is like the bottom and it can't really go any lower. But RNG and the middle is like 350, and if you get lucky you get 400, but if you get super lucky you can get 500, 600 gold out of this run, so the bottom has a cap but the top doesn't. So there's guys on the Discord who have gotten double ruby chests, 2 living rubies in 1 chest, so things like that can happen. So the average on my server is 350 gold an hour, but every once in a while you're going to get an absolute god tier RNG run and you're going to come away with over 500 gold, from 1 hour. So that's really nice. Yo.
You're ordering some namaste food.
Yeah, if you want to throw a little something. I actually just ate something from Joma, but just anything, whatever you're getting, get a side for me or something like that. We love.
I mean, it's Indian curry. So
Alright, yeah. Korma. Korma. Lovely. Yeah, I'll be down for settlers half an hour-ish.
yeah, not 4 minutes.
Perfect. Where are we? Why is your voice so low? I don't know. I don't know. I think the volume. It's really annoying. Can you show us the smoothest run? Like less gold per hour, but more safely? Safety? We don't do safety, bro. We don't do safety. We over aggro Alar and we get 1 shot. We pull Morrowgrim because we run into him and we get 1 shot. We don't do safety on this channel. We're reckless motherfuckers. No, I just, there is on my channel, what? Like a 6-hour stream. I'm not going to play it now. I'm just going to show you. Public. 400 gold Steamvaults I'm looking for. Yeah, There should be a search function here somewhere. I have a stream here where I made 4,000 gold in 1 day. Which worked out at roughly 400 gold an hour. This video right here, I got 6 rare gems 3 living rubies and 3 other gems in 35 minutes. This is a 34-minute video. If you watch that, you'll see me getting 6 gems, 3 of them living rubies in 35 minutes. That was a god tier run. Like that's 3 rubies at the time were worth 100 gold. That's 300 gold. And then the other gems, 2 of them were lower, but the other gems in total were worth about 100 gold. So that's 400 gold in 35 minutes. That's just under 800 gold. Sorry, that's just the gems. Then the mines were on top of that, and the scrolls and the potions. So that was like 1,000 gold an hour. It wasn't an hour, but that half an hour was worth like 500 gold in 35 minutes. So you can get insane runs like that. Where is... the 400 gold per hour? Stream. Do they delete streams? No nurse, soul chests. Here we go. Rose Diary, farming 400 gold per hour all day. It's a 9-hour stream. And if you watch that, it'll watch that if you're trying to learn the stream.
Alright, we're back. Baby.
And it's just going to show you. It's 9 hours of 400 gold an hour, you know. So it's insanely good money. Are you on a PvE or PvP server? PvE. Water walking peaked in price thanks to your video, but guys, you don't need water walking if you buy the swim speed belt. I would love to take credit for water walking spiking because of my video, but I think my video, if it had any effect on that, it'd be very minor. There are other uses for water walking. People need it for the fishing competition. So it's not, it didn't go up because of it didn't go up to that. Maybe a small difference. Need to steal or only vein and box? You can steal if you want. I generally will rob the slaves halfway through, and then that's it. Can you show us the smoothest run yet? ASMR. Damn, that's the goat run. Catch you later, mate. Have fun with Catan, play nice. Thank you, Mikey. Sorry if you're already gone. We'll catch up with you later. Thanks for dropping in. Alright, let me have a quick smoke and I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, we actually drained that in about 3 seconds. Alright, we'll show you a run. It's going to be a smooth one. distract these guys here. Because if we waited for them to patrol, sap her to keep them there, and then pulled, these guys will be on the way back, and they'll be in the way of the chest. So we're gonna do this. We might be... Oh, that's alright. We didn't actually pull them. We've done that before. We thought we threw. We didn't throw. Wow, we are lagging like hard. See, there they are. But we'll distract them. Click, 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 click. Uh-oh. Smooth. Somebody asked for a smooth run. Not happening. That's alright. We'll get on the way out. Ah! No, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the mega pull. Oh, I'm glad that failed. That's fine. We're gonna go get the second chest, we'll get the mines and the moats, and then we'll do that. Wow, the lag is so bad. Where's our swag? Ah, there it is. It disappeared because we haven't looted anything in so long. God, I've got to get better at this content game. I usually skip that chest if it's locked. Never, never skip a chest. Never, ever. That's blasphemy. For maximizing profit from SV, sell mana pots. Make and sell HP injectors. Save fell iron casing or fell iron for frost grenades. The injectors is interesting. I made injectors. Oh, we got a star of a loon from a pick. Not bad. We got 3 noble topaz in the space of, I think, about 24 hours from these slaves last week, which was really nice. We got a living ruby from one as well a few days ago. Yeah, the lag is insane. The injectors I'm not sure about. I'll have a look into it. But that could definitely be a thing. The fell iron casings, saving them to make frost grenades depends on how much frost grenades are. You see, when people level NG, frost grenades provide a useful, I think it's about 10 points you can get from making frost grenades. So a lot of people will do that in order to level, and then they just put them in the auction house for whatever they can get for them. And if you look here, you'll see they're selling for 75 silver each, which is way, way cheaper than it costs to make them. So I would not use fell iron on casings to make them. You're going to lose money doing that if they're cheaper on your server than the cost to make them. So it depends. You could be right, and you are right, as long as it's more expensive to buy them than it is to make them. Sell adamantite and other bars and gemstones motes. I don't turn them into bars. And the reason why is I was doing that at the start, but you'll notice that you'll go to smelt them, and sometimes it will be profitable and sometimes it won't. So it depends on the economy. It also takes time to smelt everything. And the way I look at it is, if it's 350 gold an hour, which it is on my server, that's divide that by 5, that's 70 gold for 12 minutes. So 12 minutes is worth 70 gold. If it takes you like 12 minutes to smelt everything, which it kind of will, because you have to travel, you know, you have to fly over to the forge, you smelt everything, then you have to go back and send stuff. So let's get this second chest. The amount, you need to be making 75 gold in profit in that 12 minutes in order to justify turning them into bars, and you're not gonna. So I just sell the ores and go back to the farm. The farm itself is the most profitable thing you can do with your time. The injectors, you could be right about that. I don't know, I haven't checked. And you're right about the fell iron casings for the frost grenades, as long as they're expensive on your server. Disenchant all lower than 3 gold items. Disenchant all items except for weapons. You can see here, weapon. Even this one, the disenchant value is 10 gold and the vendor's 735. So for most weapons, it's enchanting materials are going up and up. It's actually more profitable. This has changed. Up until I just checked here, it's always been like an extra 50 silver or a gold, usually, to sell them to the vendor. But I always disenchant them anyway, because I'm a bit of a gambler at heart and I like the chance of getting a shard. You can get large prismatic shards from these items because the item level is high. So no, you disenchant everything except for weapons most of the time. If you sell it to the vendor, you're going to lose money. But then again, it depends on how much disenchanting or how much enchanting materials are going for on your server. So you're right about some things. Good to see the mega pull. Yeah, it's coming. And guns, if they're not sellable in the auction house. I sold 100 plus injectors for a few days. It's like 10 to 20% more profitable with current prices. Okay. Of course, everything depends on auction house prices. Of course. Living Ruby went down to 85 gold now. I really thought it would go up in phase 2. So did I, brother. I thought it would go back up to 100 at least. And when it didn't, I was a little bummed. But you know what is going up? Scrolls. 2 gold for spirit. And I sold 2 of them for 3 gold 50 each last Wednesday. So they're going through the roof. Actually, you've gone from 4 to 5 gold up to 7 to 8, sometimes 9. So they're going through the roof. Enchanting materials, as you can see now, this is the first time since TBC launch where I've moused over a weapon and it's given me a higher disenchant value than a vendor value. So enchanting materials are going up big time. Large prismatic shards are through the roof as well. So we've lost money on gems and ores, but we are gaining serious amounts of money on other aspects of the farm, so that's why it's remained the same gold per hour. We got a failure, but we've got time for one more. Sweet. Alright, let's get that mega pull. We're gonna do the mega pull, and then I'm gonna go. I need to play some Catan. This is seriously risky with the lag that I have, but we're going to do it anyway. We are going to have to wait though for this patrol to be in the correct position. I'll mark it up so you can track them more easily. We want this one down by this wall, and we want that one at the mouth of this rivulet, heading in this direction for the perfect pull. But you just smelt it after you're done with the farm. Yeah, for sure. You can, but it's time. The way I like to do it, I mean, you're right. You can, but again, it takes time. If you do an hour of farming, you're gonna have, you know, what is it? You get 3 on average from each mine. There's 2 addies and 2 fell in each, so that's 6 each, multiplied by 5. That's 30. That's 60. Smelting takes, you know, so it takes a little bit of time. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. Let's see what it says. $70 silver profit. Okay, that's actually decent. And we're losing money from smelting fell iron. And when I was smelting, which I was doing for, you know, a couple of weeks when I started the farm, some days you'd make money, some days you'd lose money. And I just thought, you know what, if I'm making money some days, losing money other days, it's probably going to even out. I'm just wasting my time. So instead, I just send all the ores straight over to my alt and just sell them. I'm not arsed with the minor minutia details because the money is so big. And there's 3 dozen minor tweaks people do, changes to their method with the farm. And people will jump on and say, you should do this, you should do that. It's like, then it comes down to personal preference of how you want to do it. You know, I stopped pickpocketing for a while because I couldn't be bothered. The risk versus reward. And then people would jump on and be like, bro, what are you doing? Why aren't you pickpocketing? It's just a personal preference. Sure, it's more gold per hour on paper to pickpocket, but the risk of getting a resist and getting killed if you can't get to a safe spot, you know. So it just depends how you want to do it. Okay, I need to focus up here. Pretty clean, all things considered. I don't know if we got the pack on the left though, and that's the pack with the chest. And we may have pulled the water lilies because the guy that patrols in front of the pack was right beside them. So if they did pull, he may have pulled them. We'll find out now in a second. Okay, we got the Overlord, that's good. It would be Surgers first if we had got them. So what we don't want is this guy under us in the tunnel. So we're gonna boots. No, we're gonna prep now. I'm gonna sprint. Oh, he is under us anyway. Patience is a virtue. Now we're going to use our swiftness pot. And now we're going to boots. Now we're going to vanish. And we're just going to jump out of vanish. And hopefully that's a bad place for those guys to be. We might not be able to get all three now. And we didn't get that pack. That's annoying. That's very annoying. But we can at least get the mine. Uh-oh. So, what happened there? We waited at the corner too long. So the Bog Lord was too close behind us. But we're out of practice. It'll happen. He's definitely going to see us. Let's just play it safe. That's a no. Alright, well, we need to hit the road anyway and play Catan. How are the Phase 2 parses looking, Rue? I'll show you now. Sam, and welcome back. We got a 99 parse last night on Hydros, and we're still using Blink Strike, so we're very happy with that. If we had the difference between a 99 and 100 is an absolute huge gulf. So I'm not going to make a statement like if we had Talon of Ashara and DST, we could have gotten 100, because even with those, you're not going to get close. You need to get 100 parse. It's next level what you need to get 100. But, especially as a rogue. But we got a 99. And we didn't die this time. Last week, we died on 2 bosses. Alar. We got a really bad parse, obviously, because we died. And we also died, I think, was it Morogrim? We did 59. We died toward the end. But last night was much better. We ran out of haste potions by the time we got to DK. And we didn't have a sharpening stone for Void Reaver, who's immune to poisons. And we ran out of scrolls. And we didn't have any bombs. We had a couple of sapper charges and a goblin sapper charge, which we blasted early in SSC. But by the time we got even to the end of SSC, we were out of bombs. But I've been so broke because I dropped all my money on leveling, boosting my second rogue. So we spent that 15,000 gold last week, and we've been playing catch up ever since because I was making videos. I haven't had time to farm. So basically I need to get back on the farm, get the gold back up to like thousands, and have every single consume I need going into the next raid. That's the plan. And we're going to bring these parses up and turn this into an orange number. So we're happy about that. We did get a 99 on Gruul 2 weeks in a row, which we're super happy about. So that was great. Even though we're not in a parsing guild. And on this one, we were exposing. And on this one, we weren't. But nobody else was either. So even without exposed armor, we did really nice DPS there. We're still haunted by the purple nightmare in Karzhan. We haven't got that 0.6 to bring us to orange yet, which is really starting to get to me. But we'll get there. The reason I only need Skulker's Greaves from Kara, but I'm going in there every week because I want all of these to be 99s. by the end of the expansion. That's the plan. So we've got a nice rank. You know, we were ranked in the top 100 for Gruel Maggie last week, or just after we got the parse, but we've fallen down now. I'm happy enough with that, given we're not in a parsing guild. But the Karazhan rank is really bad. So that's how the parses are looking, brother. We got lucky. I'm gonna just res here. I need to go in a minute, but I'll be back on later. I'll show you my loadout. What am I doing? Yeah, NG goggles. Crafted them midnight release. And we got those last week from the midnight release. And none of our SRs dropped last night. But Band of the Ranger General, our BIS ring, one of them, dropped. And the only person who SR'd it actually changed their SR, like right at the end, just before the raid started. So when it dropped, the guild lead was like, there's no SRs on Band. And I was like, oh boys, we have a shot here. And we won it with a 94, I think. So super happy about that. Lost DST, lost to 100 roll. I rolled second highest. But I went to a really good warrior, so we don't mind that. Might have been bad as I've been dying from the threat in my new guild. That's a blame the tank. Always blame the tank. Threat issues. We got a 99 on Vash. Bro, you got a 99 on Vash. Oh my god. What was it again? Was it Gamgee? What's your... Samwise, isn't it? Paladin. No. Oh, some imposter Samwise. Samwell. Bro, 99. Oh my god. You're a legend. Ranked 43 in the world. You absolute demon. 818. Okay, one sec. 818. I'm going to shamelessly compare the times. I just want to see what your kill times are like compared to ours. Vash, 802. Vash, 818. Okay, so the same kill times. Very, very similar. Wow, bro. You got a 99. That's insane. May I'd say you were so happy with that. Congrats, that's huge, absolutely huge. On Vash as well, like, it's one thing to get a 99 on a fight like Hydros, which is like super fast, relatively easy, but to get one on Vash, dude, that's nuts. May, look at it, like standing there beside a 15, which is the same as me, by the way. Hold on, last week, 17. That's both of us now, dying. It's standing there like an absolute boss beside a 15 and a blue. Wow, man. 1005.2. Sick. Lionheart champion. Ah, you haven't gotten the nether vortex to upgrade to executioner yet. Or maybe you have. Crown, shoulder plates, Crimson Forge breastplate. Wow. Still rocking. I know these are good items. Deafness, lovely. I know how good expertise is for, and the Shatra leggings, yeah, for Rets. Edgewalkers. Tell me you've got gems in that, dude. Tell me now. Samwise. Tell me this is a bug. A glitch in the Matrix. Unraveler, you've still got Unraveler, and you're banging out 99s. That's insane, dude. That's so nice. Good job, Samuel. Indeed, in flames. Geomage S Labs is the best. Yeah, but that's a duo. Solo. Best solo gold farm in the game. Solo. Not duo. I'm usually on core duty, so no way I can get such a part. Well, happy. The twists were popping off. Yes. I got the upgraded sword. Nice. I have, yeah. It's very outdated. Okay, okay. Oh, it's a month old. What am I doing? Let's update that right now. Okay, you got the goggles as well. Nice. Crystal Forge breastplate. Nice. Iron Striders. Executioner. Still got the Unraveler. But crit's really good, isn't it? For pallies. Crit's the worst for rogues. It's expertise, hit, agi, AP, crit. But for paladins, I know crit is like... I know expertise is best for you. And haste rating as well. I forgot about haste, of course. Haste is very high up for rogues. And it's also good for pallies. But I know that there's that caveat because you got to be careful with your twists about not making it too fast so that you can still twist. Yeah, sick. Very good. Oh, you're playing ret. That's not my gear. Yeah, we're ret gaming. It's really not bad at all. It's not. Would obviously want DSD. Yeah, of course. Of course. Big time. Yeah, we were second highest roll on Wednesday when it dropped. Alright, let's head for home. I'm gonna crack these boxes and then I need to go play some Catan for a couple of hours. And then I'll be back on streaming in a couple of hours and we'll smash out. We will absolutely smash out SV. Still looking for a Nightblade. Haven't got one. A natty Nightblade. We want to get one for a box just for bragging rights for the expansion. I was making a video. I put it out a couple of days ago. Everything you need to know to rogue in raid for TBC. It's just a simming video, upgrade guide, upgrade prio, and BIS professions. And off the top of my head, I thought PvE was going to be NG for bombs and jewel crafting for gems. But when I actually simmed it out, the jewel crafting only gems, there's two of them that are beneficial for us. There's a 20 AP gem and there's a 10 AP and 5 crit strike, I think. But when you socket those in, you have to take out usually hit rating gems, and it actually works out as around about the same DPS. However, if you go enchanting and you go striking on your rings or stats, striking is about 1 DPS more than stats. But if you have striking on both your rings, it's worth 15 DPS, which is actually worth more than this ring upgraded from phase 1 BIS. So the BIS professions, if you really want to pump as a rogue in phase 1, phase 2, and I believe probably up until later phases when we get the really good gems, then the BIS professions for a rogue are actually for PvE, enchanting and engineering, which was kind of a little bit surprising to me. Rogue's Diary, BIS. NG, yeah. Enjoy Catan, make use of the coastal trades. Yeah, I'll try to. Alright guys, thanks for joining. I'll be back in a couple of hours streaming. If you want to join again, you're a bunch of legends. Go make some money, have some